So I'm going to tell you the story of how I wrote my biggest final expense plan in my entire career. My name is David Duford, owner of Duford Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents nationally to sell things like final expense Medicare and annuities, both face-to-face and over the phone. The topic of today's video is a little story time here by yours truly on the story of how I sold in one sitting the most final expense life insurance I have ever done in my entire career. So I believe it was back in 2015 or 2016. I was working direct mail lead cards at the time, pre-setting appointments to go see them face-to-face, and then also door knocking as well. We had dropped some mail in a part of Chattanooga known as North Chattanooga. It's where all the yuppies live and the very wealthy people. Our one-time Senator Bob Corker I think still lives there, and a lot of other well-to-do, high-heeled types, right? Well-heeled. So anyways, immediately I was discouraged. I knew what I was expecting on the east side of Hickson Pike, and that is the nice part of North Chattanooga. Actually, it's all nice now. And I wasn't thrilled as I inputted the lead neighborhood information, the house information, and found out it was in a $1 million neighborhood. So I was driving up to the house, passing these mansions, getting my blood boiling, frustrated. I like to be in government housing and trailers. That's where my final expense people are at. And here I am in this wealthy neighborhood. What's wrong with these people? Don't they know that this is about burial insurance? So anyways, I'm talking myself in a sense out of doing this appointment, and I'm approaching it. And I look down the long driveway, and there's a nice palatial garden and a nice driveway, a Cadillac Escalade, and a BMW out front. And I said, F it. I'm not running this appointment. This is a waste of my time. So I literally passed the house and started driving back to go to the next appointment. And I had that devil on my shoulder telling me this, and then the angel on my shoulder said, you know what? Turn your ass around and go do the appointment. You're pathetic. And then I said, oh, all right. And then I went around to turn around, and I drove down the driveway, and at this time I didn't know it, but my prospect was leaving. And I parked the car and introduced myself, and she yelled at me. She said, what are you doing here? And I said, well, I had an appointment. She said, I told you to confirm before you get here. I got to go somewhere. You got to call me back and do this tomorrow. And I said, yes, ma'am. I'll call it tomorrow. See you, bye. Got back in the car, and then I told my appointment setter to reschedule it. I don't like to call and confirm. I like to just go. I don't like talking on the phone that much, especially running preset appointments. I don't want to give them a reason to cancel on me, right? So I went there again, knocked on the door. She answered the door, and she yelled at me again. What are you doing here? I told you to call and confirm. Didn't you listen? I was like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I was just too busy, and I didn't pass my mind. And she was like, oh, all right, come on in. And so we walk inside. It's a super nice house, has a great view of the Tennessee River, just a super nice house, right? So we go to the back in her office, and we sit down and start talking. And she has, a huge need for life insurance. She wants to buy as much coverage as she can. She has people in her life that she wants to leave money behind to. And she wants to use a life insurance policy to do this. And we started talking, and she asked me, a number of coverage that was, mind blown. It was a huge amount of coverage. I said, yeah, we can do this, but we have to write different companies. So I proceeded to write a series of different life insurance carriers. And all well and done, I ended up writing 6 or 7 25 or actually maxed out life insurance policies, okay? Huge premiums, hundreds of dollars each kind of thing. And I probably ended the call with around 12 to 15, for 2 calls, I think it was, maybe 3. $12,000 to $15,000 in coverage. It was like crazy, and all got approved. She got her coverage, and I was just like shocked. And here's the point in me sharing with this. A couple, I think, fundamental tips that as to why I'm sharing this. This isn't me bragging. It's really to tell you, first of all, the people you think who are the gurus or the pros, they have all the same mindset crap that you deal with, okay? Like, I've always contended with this sort of like self-doubt thing. or talking myself out of it. I just luckily don't listen to it often enough that I have some semblance of success in my life. So that's number one. Number two, you cannot judge any prospect that you go do a door knock on or run an appointment on. I know how hard it is, trust me, to go into middle class America and run an appointment or door knock a lead or work leads. If you're in final expense, you're just like face palming, knowing that probably there's not a deal there, but you don't know. You see, that's the thing, you don't know. You think you know, but you don't know. You should operate with no bias whatsoever. You have no clue who is behind that door. You don't know what their needs are. You don't know if they're friendly to what you have to offer or they're not. And you portraying or casting some sort of judgment so early on in the process, before you even see, is basically spelling your certain doom, okay? For example, this story, I never would have imagined I would have sold a damn thing to this woman, but she bought and she kept it. And I'm shocked still to this day that it actually happened the way it did. And the thing is this happens to almost everybody long enough in this business, is you do this long enough and you realize you don't know nothing. You don't. You just have to run the appointments and stop thinking so much about what could be behind that door and just run it to see what actually is behind that door. So yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. It was a fundamental lesson, I think, that reinforced for me. Of course, we all still struggle with this. I know I certainly did throughout my career, of not judging a lead before you actually run it. And never knowing what's behind the doors, and very much more reason why you should just run the appointment and see what's out there. So I hope you like that story. My name is David Duford, owner of Duford Insurance Group. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. I do a video like this every day about something in the insurance sales business. Share with me your biggest sale. I'm curious to see what the story is behind that. Please feel free to leave that in the comments below. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care.